Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another episode of PPNY TV with me, your host, Ryan O'Neill Williams, and my special guest today, Senior Executive Partner, Senior Executive Advisor, Paresh Shah of Paresh Shah Financial Advisors. We prefer to just say Paresh Shah Partners, Paresh?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. I love the idea that financial could be in there, but I understand. I understand if the name's been the way it is for a long time, that holds still as pressure. How are you today? How are you doing this morning?
Just doing fantastic, Ryan. It's a lovely morning. We are blessed not to be affected by the storms that are happening down south. You're standing in the lovely sunny weather. I'm waiting to get outside and grab lunch with some folks, and maybe it'll be an outdoor lunch. So I'm just excited, feel blessed, and ready to rock and roll with you.
That's great. That's right. So I'm holding you up from your lunch, huh? Is that what's going on?
Not really, but you know what, food is what I live for. So that's another topic for another day, and let's do this today.
That's right. That's right. All right. But no, it's always fantastic to see you on social media, jumping out of planes or speaking on stage or giving advice, financial advice. I love seeing you out there, even though I've never actually been able. I think we miss one another, just miss one another at our meetings, and so it's kind of good to talk to you and actually find out what Paresh Shaw Partners is about. Um, so, how long have you? Well, when did Paresh Shaw Partners get started?
So I have been in the financial services industry since 1996. My initial career was purely investment management. And then in 2005, I began my journey towards financial planning and added life insurance also in my armor. And so with that, I do financial planning, manage people's money, and sell life insurance. Basically, those three legs are on which our firm stands today. Along the way, I got my Certified Financial Planners qualification, CFP. So I'm a licensed Certified Financial Planner. So with that, everything begins with planning. And initially, we were with an insurance company as an agent with them or a career agent. Paresh Shah Partners was born in 2018 when I became completely independent, had my own shop here in Hicksville, New York, and we're working towards that goal now.
Excellent, excellent. And so, if I'm if I'm your ideal client, my problem is what exactly? Why am I coming to Paresh Shaw Partners?
You know, Ryan, the way our mission goes is something like this. You must have heard when you were a kid, or many times in life, you might have heard, money cannot buy you happiness, right? You might have heard that, right? However, yeah, however, I find that 95, and I may be actually making an understatement, 95% of people are unhappy because they have money worries. We at our firm help people alleviate money worries so that they can pursue their passion and profession without being bothered by the money problem. And that's what we do here at Paresh Shah.
Okay. Okay, great. So if you're having money problems, I feel bad for you, son, and you should probably call Paresh Shaw Partners,
Not
right?
problems, I would say even money worries. You know, somebody
Right.
might say that I'm worried whether I can fund my son's college education. Somebody might say I want to fund my daughter's wedding. Somebody might say I'm looking to buy my next home.
Right.
Anything that kind of translates into a money worry in the future, we can plan for that today with you.
Excellent. Excellent. And as a result, you're the perfect person to be uh, to assist people with purchasing their homes like we do in Property Professionals of New York. Yes, PPNY.
Absolutely.
All right, great. So How did you get involved with PPNY, the Property Professionals of New York Group?
It's a strange story, and you've dealt with Joe, so you know how it is when Joe gets to you, right? But the background is this: I was looking at an investment property maybe
Okay.
about a decade ago,
All right.
and that was in Manhattan, and I through a referral, I got a lead. I got introduced to Joe for doing the inspection.
Right.
And Joe comes and does my inspection, and then he talks to me that, I have this group, and but we already have a financial advisor in place. So I said, okay, if any opportunity opens up, let me know. And
Right.
about 2 years later, Joe reaches out, hey, we're starting another chapter. Would you be interested? And that was in Roslyn, that chapter, at the Landmark Diner,
That's
and
right.
that's where I got involved with PPNY first. So that's my story of how Joe lassoed me in.
That's right. Joe sneaks into your life, and then the next thing you know, you're like, "What? What?" And he's patient. I gotta tell you, he's a patient man.
Yeah.
He came. I must have caught his attention somewhere during the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, and I was like, I'm not really ready yet, to come out and do this kind of thing. I think we'll wait just a little bit, and he was not relentless. No, he waited. He checked in with me another year. He checked in with me a year after that, and was just like, "Hey, I really would like you to come help us with marketing." I was like, "Oh man!" And then the last time he spoke with me, it was just the perfect time, and it just, marketing is kind of like that too. You know what I mean?
That's
You
true.
want to speak with people once and touch them, but remind them that you're there. If you say Paresh Shah Partners, I'm hoping there are a bunch of people who think, oh, yeah, those financial guys. And at some point, I could deal with them. Um, and so the idea would be that you'd be able to be reminded that that's what they are doing, and so therefore get in with them as well. But yeah, it's fascinating how he lay waits you, and eventually eventually you get into this thing. But I have to tell you, it's worth it. It's been worth it. It's been worth it. Every minute, every meeting has been worth it. I meet new people, or I create better bonds with the people who are already there. It's fascinating, and I have to tell you that PPNY. How does it help your business, Paresh?
So I would say the help is in two ways. First is, of course, that I have had members of the group refer me clients who they feel need my help. But more importantly, I have been able to give my clients set of people whom they can rely on. Now, these are the professionals that I meet week after week. So these professionals know me, they trust me, and I can in turn trust them. And
Yes.
when I've given them leads, they also respect the fact that they're getting a warm lead, and so they want to kind of work at it. Now, imagine that you are buying your first home. And this was my own experience, okay, when I bought my first home, and I was part of my first networking group, which was not PPNY, by the way, but was a similar group. And
Okay.
this was, I'm talking about 15 years ago.
All right.
So during that buying process, on the table, I had a mortgage broker from my group, I had a title person from my group, the realtor, the bank attorney was somebody who was in my group because the mortgage guy had brought him in. My cousin was my attorney. Everybody I knew, I had a relationship with.
Right. Right.
And I feel that giving that kind of team to my clients is what helps them be comfortable at what is probably one of their biggest buying decisions, in their life, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
whether when they're signing off on a million pages, they don't know what they're signing off on. You don't know what you're doing, but you're going just getting guided by this bunch of guys up there, and you want to know that you got a team that's behind you, that's taking care of your back. I
right.
think that feeling that you get when you work with a team from PPNY, you won't get it anywhere else.
Yeah, okay, okay. I agree. I agree. I totally agree because it does seem like a varied group of people who happen to be really good at what they do. Some of the conversations that I've heard between two loan officers or between two mortgage professionals uh, go so way over my head. I'm there. I'm trying to follow along, but you can tell these guys are deep into it. They love it, and they're really good at what they do, as I'm sure you are as well. So you've been doing financials, like I said, since not just 2005, but even before then.
96, yes.
96. Oh my gosh. You know what I was doing in 1996, Paresh? I wasn't even, I was like
At that
3 years.
time, but by the way, just to let you know, at that time, Ryan, I was 2 years old. Okay, so today I'm
That's right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I was like 3 years out of high school personally, so I'm a little older than you, I guess. But yeah, yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's a great group. I think we're able to move to lots of places. I think the value that people are going to receive from being in PPNY or from getting services from PPNY are just innumerable and cannot necessarily be put a value on. I think that all the professionals there just get their stuff done so very well. You have any you have any specific advice for what's happening in the market right now or what's going on in general?
so uh, there is a lot of things going on currently in the market space
Yes,
in
sure.
terms of expectation of a recession, expectation of layoff, expectation of lower home prices. People, I believe, in general, a lot of people have gotten spoiled by the 3% mortgage rates and now are finding the mortgage rates significantly higher.
Right.
I would just tell them that gather a good team of professionals, realtor, uh, mortgage broker, and your financial advisor, even your CPA, and assess the impact on your financials and your cash flow before jumping in anywhere. We are not at the highest points in terms of inflation as yet. We're not in the highest points in terms of even interest rates. I mean, those who lived through the 1979, 1980 know that at that time there were 14% mortgage rates. So uh, so I think that's why I use the term spoiled when I said that we are spoiled by 3%, while 6% is not really high compared to that. Having said that, what it definitely does is it impacts your personal cash flow. My belief is that a lot of times buyers of property or even any financial decision, you get impacted by what's going on in the news media. I would humbly suggest to you that rather than looking at that, look at how your own scenario is getting impacted. Do your own math, and I think you will come make some better decisions about whether you should buy, not buy, etc.
I love that advice. I love the perspective, the ability to look and say, this is not the worst that it has ever been. And if it gets to that, guess what? There's always money to be made. There is always a way to be successful. There is always a way for people to do well under Paresha. Paresha, anytime something like this happens, and that's what, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, this man said to me right before we got on, when you're trying to remember my name, just say Paresha. And I was like, what? That is fantastic. That's like the greatest thing possible. And I was explaining how the wind at your back, or the pressure, or the possibility that you are in the worst possible circumstance is what brings out the best in most humans, but definitely people from the part of the world I'm from. Hey, Paresh, where are you from? Are you Indian? Are you Guyanese? Where are you from originally?
I'm born and brought up in India.
Okay,
I,
good, good.
I I grew up in a very small town called Mumbai, if you've heard the name.
Small town. That's right. That's funny. Okay.
and and yeah, I migrated here and enhanced and embraced the American dream. I was able to save. I was able to buy home. I was able to move to a bigger home, and all along I had the support of a great team. So I think that I'm blessed. I feel blessed. I I I feel very very blessed to be here. Very very blessed to live the life that I live today, and also to be on this show with you. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. What drives you? What drives you to do the things that you do?
It's a great question,
It is,
Ryan.
isn't
It goes back to the time when um, so my dad and his cousins, they set up a pharmaceutical manufacturing business in India in the
it?
early 80s. And initially it bled money, it lost money. But then afterwards it started making money and it was doing very well. They went in for an expansion. And in 92, unfortunately, I lost my dad. Now, when I lost my dad, it became a situation where I just become an engineer, just graduated, and I was to join my dad in the business with my cousins and my uncle. But my dad wasn't there, so things became a little different, and eventually I decided not to do that business. But what did happen was that my dad had purchased some life insurance, and that money came to my mom, and she was able to set up her own independent income from that life insurance money, and uh, and that gave me the freedom to pursue an entrepreneurial career rather than just follow a job to bring home the bacon. So that drives me that every if I can go and make a difference in another family by bringing financial planning, life insurance, investment, safety for the future, if I can do that, then I can give some other kid the opportunity to grow in their profession or their passion like I got the opportunity.
That is, that's perfect. That's just the perfect answer. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for hanging out with me on this thing. We are going to have such fun together. We have not yet, but we're going to have such fun together because I can see that when you have perspective, when you're able to look back and say things could be worse and there's still a way to work this out, that's just the kind of person and personality that I like to work with. I can't stand people who complain too much. It's maddening to me because I'm like, you have no idea what I've gone through to get here. And it's the same conversation that you're basically telling me that, things didn't go the way you expected them to go, right? Sometimes we are quite spoiled. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the numbers on the screen, 516-268-3446. If you are looking for financial advice for your future, for a large uh, move that you're going to be doing in your financial life, purchasing a home, saving for college, you want to talk to Paresh Shah at Paresh Shah Partners, Paresh Shah Financial. I like to say financial partners because I'm going to change up your but there you go. There's the email on the screen. There's the phone on the screen. I want to say thank you so very much again for being on the PPNY TV show with me, Paresh. You have a great day.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate this opportunity to be here, to have chatted with you, and to get the opportunity to show you a bit of my passion.
Yes.
And as I said, we got to take PPNY miles, and our we got to give our clients the best.
So,
So thank
so
you once again for this opportunity, Ryan, and look forward to chatting with you soon.
excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, PPNY, we mean business.